Right now, somewhere in the back corridors of that arena, three absolute monsters are about to collide in a way that nobody saw coming. And when I say monsters, I don't mean that lightly. I'm talking about men who have built their entire careers on pure, unfiltered destruction. What you're about to witness isn't just an ambush. This is a statement. This is a declaration of war. And by the time we reach the end of this video, you're going to understand why everything in professional wrestling just changed in the span of 60 brutal seconds. Before we dive into this chaos, I need you to do something for me. I need you to understand that what we cover here on SLAMZONE isn't just highlights and hot takes. This is a family. This is where real wrestling fans come to feel something, to experience the rush, the heartbreak, the absolute electricity of moments that make us remember why we fell in love with this business in the first place. So if you've been watching and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I'm asking you right now, from one fan to another, join us. Be part of something bigger. Tap that notification bell because every single week, we're bringing you the most intense, most emotional breakdowns in the wrestling world. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Alright, let's set the stage. OBA Femi, 6'4", 270 pounds of calculated aggression. This man didn't just arrive in professional wrestling, he erupted into it like a force of nature that couldn't be contained. Week after week, we've watched him dismantle opponents with a precision that's honestly terrifying. He moves like a predator who's studied every inch of his prey. Every strike lands with intent. Every slam echoes through the arena like thunder. And here's what makes OBA Femi truly dangerous: he doesn't just want to win. He wants to prove that he's on a level that nobody else can reach. He wants to send a message that echoes through locker rooms and reverberates through every corner of this industry. And tonight, that message is about to be delivered in the most violent way possible. Now, on the other side of this powder keg, we have two men who are no strangers to absolute mayhem: Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. Think about that for a second. These aren't just competitors. These are wrecking machines in human form. Bronson Reed, the colossal from down under, tips the scales at over 300 pounds of raw power. When this man moves, the earth shakes beneath him. His tsunami splash has ended careers. His presence alone changes the atmosphere of any match he's in. Reed doesn't do technical wrestling. Reed doesn't play mind games. Reed walks into battle and leaves carnage in his wake. And Bron Breakker? This second-generation superstar carries the legacy of one of the most legendary families in wrestling history coursing through his veins. But don't mistake him for someone riding coattails. Bron Breakker has carved his own path with an intensity that's almost frightening to witness. That combination of explosive power, raw athleticism, and an unshakable confidence has made him one of the most feared competitors in the game today. When Breakker steps into that ring, you can feel the energy shift. You can sense that something special, something historic, is about to happen. So you've got these two titans, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, and the entire wrestling world has been buzzing about the tension between them. There's history here. There's unfinished business. There's that simmering rivalry that's been building week after week, promo after promo, stare down after stare down. Everyone knew that sooner or later, these two forces were going to explode into each other with the kind of violence that makes highlights reels for decades. But here's where everything changes. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, saw OBA Femi coming. The footage starts backstage, and right away, you can feel something's off. The lighting is dim, that industrial backstage area with concrete walls and equipment cases stacked everywhere. You can hear voices in the distance, production staff moving around, the muffled roar of the crowd out in the arena. And then the camera picks up Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, standing face to face in that narrow corridor. The tension is suffocating. You can cut it with a knife. These two mountains of men, jaw to jaw, eyes locked, neither one backing down an inch. Reed's got that look in his eyes, that cold, calculating stare that says he's been waiting for this moment. Breakker's got his chest puffed out, that confident smirk playing at the corner of his mouth because he knows what he's capable of and he's not intimidated by anyone. The trash talk is starting to fly. You can see security and officials hovering nearby, ready to jump in if this thing goes off the rails. The air is electric with anticipation. And then, from absolutely nowhere, like a hurricane tearing through a calm sky, OBA Femi explodes into the frame. The impact is immediate and devastating. Femi comes charging in with the force of a freight train, and his first shot connects with Bronson Reed's jaw with a sickening crack that echoes through the hallway. Reed's head snaps back, his massive frame actually staggering from the sheer power behind that strike. Before anyone can even process what's happening, before Breakker can turn around fully, Femi is already launching into his second assault, driving a brutal forearm into Bron's chest that sends him crashing back against the concrete wall. This isn't a wrestling exchange. This is a mugging. This is an execution. Femi doesn't pause. He doesn't hesitate. His movements are fluid but ferocious, every single strike landing with maximum impact. He grabs Bronson Reed by the back of the head and drives him face-first into an equipment crate. The sound is absolutely brutal. You can hear the metal buckling under the force. Reed crumples, and for a moment, you're watching a 300-pound giant fold like he just got hit by a car. Bron Breakker tries to fight back, tries to create some distance, but Femi is relentless. He spins and catches Breakker with a devastating clothesline that nearly decapitates him. Breakker's feet leave the ground. The camera shakes from the impact. This is the kind of violence that makes you wince even through a screen. And here's what makes this moment so incredibly powerful: you can see it in OBA Femi's eyes. This isn't rage. This isn't some emotional outburst. This is calculated. This is methodical. This is a man making a statement with surgical precision. Every move, every strike, every slam is designed to send one clear message: I am the most dangerous man in this building, and I'm coming for everything. Production staff are scattering. Officials are trying to get between them, but they might as well be trying to stop a natural disaster with their bare hands. Femi shoves them aside like they're made of paper. He's not done yet. Not even close. He grabs Bronson Reed again, drags his dead weight up, and launches him into a stack of steel chairs. The crash is deafening. The chairs scatter across the floor in every direction. Reed is down, barely moving, and you can see him clutching his ribs, gasping for air. That's one monster neutralized. Halfway through this absolute war, and I've got to stop for just a second, because if you're feeling what I'm feeling right now, if your heart is racing and you can't look away from the screen, then you understand exactly why SLAMZONE exists. This is what we do. We bring you inside these moments. We make you feel every impact, every emotion, every bit of the chaos. So if you haven't already, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to this channel and become part of this family, because every single week, we're delivering the most intense wrestling content on this platform. Hit that notification bell and make sure you never miss a moment of this action. Now, Bron Breakker is fighting with everything he's got. This man comes from a lineage of warriors, and he's not going down without a fight. He manages to fire back with a series of strikes, connecting with Femi's jaw, his ribs, trying to create some separation. For just a moment, it looks like Breakker might actually turn this around. He backs Femi up a few steps, and you can see that fire in his eyes, that refusal to be conquered. But OBA Femi just smiles. That smile is chilling, because you realize in that instant that Femi was expecting this. He wanted Breakker to fight back. He wanted to prove that even at their best, even when they're bringing everything they have, it's still not enough. Femi catches Breakker's next punch midair, twists his arm, and delivers a devastating headbutt that echoes through the hallway. Breakker stumbles backwards, his eyes glassy, his legs unsteady. And then Femi hits him with a move that's going to be replayed 1,000 times across every wrestling platform in existence. He lifts Bron Breakker, all 230 pounds of pure muscle and legacy, hoists him up like he weighs nothing, and drives him down with a thunderous powerbomb right onto the concrete floor. The impact reverberates through your speakers. You can feel it in your chest. Breakker's body bounces slightly from the force before settling into a motionless heap. The hallway is now littered with bodies. Bronson Reed is down. Bron Breakker is down. And standing over both of them, barely breathing hard, is OBA Femi. He looks into the camera, points at both fallen opponents, and the message is crystal clear: this is my yard now. Officials finally manage to swarm in, creating a barrier between Femi and his victims. Medical staff rush to check on Reed and Breakker, both of whom are moving but clearly in serious pain. The camera stays focused on Femi as he backs away slowly, that intense stare never wavering, making sure everyone watching understands that this wasn't random. This was planned. This was necessary. This was a statement. Here's why this moment is so significant. Here's why what you just witnessed is going to change everything moving forward. OBA Femi didn't just attack two superstars. He attacked two of the most dominant, most feared forces in the entire industry. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker have each carved paths of destruction through their respective divisions. They've ended careers. They've captured championships. They've created highlight reels filled with devastating moments. And OBA Femi just took them both out in under a minute. Think about the psychology of this. Think about every other wrestler in that locker room watching this footage. What's going through their minds right now? Fear? Respect? Both? Because Femi just proved that reputation doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter. Legacy doesn't matter. When he decides it's your time, there's nothing you can do to stop him. This ambush was surgical. Femi knew exactly where they would be. He knew exactly when to strike. He knew that catching them together, catching them distracted by their own rivalry, would give him the maximum impact with the minimum risk. That's not just brute strength, that's intelligence. That's strategy. That's the mark of someone who doesn't just want to be champion, someone who wants to completely dominate an entire era. And here's the beautiful, terrifying thing about professional wrestling: moments like this create ripples that last for months, sometimes years. This isn't going to be forgotten next week. This is the kind of angle that launches feuds, sells pay-per-views, and creates legendary matches down the road. Bronson Reed is going to want revenge. Bron Breakker is going to want to prove that he can't be caught off guard again. And OBA Femi? He's just getting started. You know what makes me love this business so much? It's moments exactly like this. It's when you're watching and you genuinely don't know what's going to happen next. It's when a moment is so shocking, so perfectly executed, that you have to watch it 3, 4, 5 times just to catch every detail. That's why I created SLAMZONE. That's why I pour my heart into these breakdowns every single week. Because wrestling isn't just entertainment. It's storytelling at its finest. It's athletic performance combined with raw human emotion. And you, the people watching this right now, you're the reason this channel exists. You're the reason I get to wake up every day and talk about the thing I love most in this world. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And if you've made it this far, please, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Tap that like button. Drop a comment below and let me know what you thought of this absolutely insane ambush. Tell me where you think this storyline is going. Tell me who you think comes out on top when these three finally collide in the ring. Share this video with your wrestling friends because moments like this deserve to be seen. They deserve to be discussed. They deserve to be appreciated for the art form that they are. OBA Femi just declared war on two of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling. He didn't send a tweet. He didn't cut a promo. He walked into that hallway and delivered the message in the only language that truly matters in this business: violence. Controlled, calculated, devastating violence. Bronson, Reed and Bron Breaker will recover. They'll heal. And when they do, you better believe they're coming for blood. But right now, in this moment, OBA Femi stands alone at the top of the mountain, having just proven that he's willing to do whatever it takes to establish his dominance. This is where legends are made. This is where careers are defined. This is SLAMZONE, and we'll be right here breaking down every incredible moment as this story continues to unfold. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on, because what comes next is going to be absolutely unmissable. Until next time, keep it locked, stay passionate about this incredible art form, and I'll see you in the next one.